All right, now we're back.
Well, guys, in between the break, I was on my favorite website ever. It's Times Newsfeed, which has the most random news in the universe. So the first random news story I saw was a Buckingham Palace guardsman. Now, you know that usually these guys, they're supposed to be extremely serious. They're not allowed to move no matter what you say. Like, you could have a gun to their head. I mean, I would hope they move, but they're not supposed to move at all. So right now, I can't even say this seriously, a Buckingham Palace guardsman, what's his name? Oh, it doesn't even have his name.
No.
Was spotted doing pirouettes outside Buckingham Palace, and he could face prison time and a hefty fine. This is what it says. Now, the fact that he's going to go to prison for dancing is made by far
that sounds like, you know,
thing ever.
That's with Kevin Bacon. What's that movie?
Footloose?
Footloose. That's Footloose. British version.
It's Footloose UK style.
Yeah, it's I can imagine it already. The Queen goes out on like a little podium and she's like, "Oh, England has a new law. No one's allowed to dance."
And you know what?
And he's like, "No, I have to forgo my duty as
Imagine like his background story is really like he wanted to be a dancer, but his parents made him become a guardsman.
You have to follow in your father's footsteps.
And you know what? He wouldn't have gotten in trouble if it wasn't on YouTube, which shows the power of the internet. I guess this guy put it on YouTube, and now everyone has seen what he's been doing pirouettes, which I would love to see this. But this poor guy, he's now called the private dancer. I really can't. I'm so sorry, but he's gonna. Well, the hefty fine is $1,600, which doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not as bad. But 21 days in prison. Can you imagine? You're like amongst I don't know, there's rapists and murderers, and you're in there like, "Oh, hey, what'd you do?" I was like, "I was dancing, and I shouldn't have been. I was supposed to be protecting the palace."
I'm pretty sure the Queen will probably pardon him.
The Queen seems like she's so cool. Like, why would she even? I mean, I know they have a code of ethics, but. Not a code. Is it ethics? Because it's not even unethical to dance unless you're Kevin Bacon.
In Footloose, which in the end, he kind of undid it.
Oh God! Dancing. But this poor guy, and I think all these other people were encouraging him to dance. So I mean, if someone's telling you to dance, what do you do?
He gave in to peer pressure.
You have to do it. I mean,
what if they told him, "Hey, go dance off a bridge"? Would he do that?
Private dancer. What is that movie with the Nutcracker? Is it?
The Nutcracker?
Is it the Nutcracker? I thought it was the Nutcracker and something else. Well, it's probably the Nutcracker. I would have called it the Nutcracker. But also, in other news, oh, by the way, guys, if you don't care about YouTube, I'm going to wait for Kenny to come in here because I know he's going to get really upset. We had a huge argument about how we should be able to have free music and have the liberty to delete it, whatever. I wasn't happy about YouTube being on my iPhone. I don't like YouTube. I mean, Bono's okay, I guess. I like Vertigo.
I like early YouTube.
I can't tell you because I only like Vertigo. That's the only song I like. And after that, I was singing Vertigo for the whole day. Either way, you can now remove it, but we're going to get into that another day.
Yeah.
But I was on Instagram, and I thought this was a joke, actually, because, Instagram has the most random things, considering that people are weird, and there's all these memes now. But the first headline I saw was, "Goldfish undergo surgery for removal of a deadly tumor now." I'm happy that they saved this poor goldfish's life. Now, this goldfish...
It can't be thankful, because then, a minute later, it'll be like, "Who are you people?"
Thank you! It's just this goldfish doesn't even know of its existence. I'm pretty sure it won't be too upset if you just let him go.
And I told you...
I know that sounds so wrong. I'm gonna,
I told you earlier, though, it's normally when a goldfish is dying or is dead, the parents just go out and buy a new one before, the kid knows. This time... I'm pretty sure that's what the doctor told him, okay, here's what you should have done, is just let it die, buy a new goldfish. By the way, here's your bill. It's $500,000.
Oh, you know what? It says he's already 10 years old, which I didn't even know goldfish could live up to that long. Imagine they actually got him from a fair, when you win a prize, and they're like, "Here's George." His name is George. "Here's George. We found George. We've got him for 10 years. They paid $200 just to save this little goldfish.
It was a guarantee.
And on top of that, it wasn't a guarantee he would be okay again. It was experimental surgery. This is what it said in Australia, of all places. So now I'm just thinking of Finding Nemo. Because the fact that they really went to a veterinarian just to save this goldfish's life, I don't know, maybe I was gonna say something I shouldn't say on the radio. Maybe I'm gonna say butthole. I think butthole is okay, right?
Maybe.
I think so. Joe isn't looking at me weird. We'll find out. If I hear a ring, ding, 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 that means I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds, Demerges. All right, I'm fine. No, I just think it's hilarious that they really, and everyone was so happy. It's just like, I mean, granted, maybe in another 2 years he might be gone anyway.
2 years? Goldfish last like a month.
Well, no, apparently George is the winner because he's lasted 10 years.
I don't believe that.
How do you notice your fish? I feel like if I had a fish, I'll forget he's there. Which, funny story, one time my brother had a fish, and he specifically told my cousin and I, watch my fish. It was like a random fish. I think it was like maybe as big as a goldfish. It had a really long tail. I'm not good with fishes. Either way, we forgot to feed it. So one morning, we're staring at it, and we're like, that don't look right. He looked really puffy. And we're like, something doesn't seem right. Yeah, so we're staring at it, and the next thing we know, he was gone. He kind of blew up. That sounds so mean, but he really did. I could picture his little scales floating down, but we didn't take him to the doctor to glue him back together again. So, I mean, I'm happy that this couple or family really cared about George that much, but there's better things we could be doing versus experimenting surgeries on little goldfish for their tumors, which I picture the tumor bigger than the fish, because the goldfish is so tiny.
That's probably how they noticed, because they probably walked by one day and it's like, I think George is a little bit too big right now.
George looks kind of weird, guys. I don't know. We should probably take him to the doctor and shell out some money.
Yeah.
Just to save George's life, because, we really care about George. I could keep going about how they care about George.
Yeah.
But another fun story, which I read, was Bill Murray crashed another party, which I find hilarious, because Bill Murray is the man. Like, he's just full-blown awesome. Like, if Bill Murray came to my 21st birthday, I would kick everyone out just to go out drinking with him, because he's so cool. He danced to Turn Down for What? Which is that Lil Jon? Does anyone know? It is Lil Jon, right? He's like, turn down for what? I can't do a Lil Jon voice, but his was it Crunk Cup? You remember his cup?
Yeah,
it's not a pimp cup. It's like a crunk cup, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I guess Bill Murray takes his free time to crash other people's parties, because why not? He's Bill Murray and he has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Love Bill Murray.
So in recent Robin Thicke news, because I know everyone...
He's like, now to serious news, Spring.
Now in serious news, Robin Thicke admitted to being addicted to Vicodin and an alcoholic during his time when he was on top of the world with that song Blurred Lines. Yeah, he just said, because he's in like the middle of a lawsuit with the family of Marvin Gaye.
What? That's crazy.
Because they accused him of stealing like most of his songs for Blurred Lines.
That's right. I did hear about that. Yeah. Because it's almost the same beat, right? Which song is it? Do you know?
I have no idea what song it is.
Oh, it's gonna bother me. Why would you bring that up? It's gonna bother me now.
You could just look it up later. You've got your laptop.
I do have my laptop.
So anyway, he said in court, like, the whole time, like, since I released that song, he's been doing Vicodin and he was an alcoholic. Most interviews he was in, he was actually like wasted.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, if you saw me walking by with a water bottle, it was filled with vodka. And I'm like,
Oh, how interesting. It just came up on TMZ. Continue.
Yeah. So, I'm keeping up with TMZ.
This is a little too... I think this is not as surprising, but because I think Zac Efron's cocaine addiction was a little more surprising to me. Because, he's a high school musical star.
Musicals, so everyone's like, oh, no, not Zac. We love him. Robin Thicke just kind of like...
So he's going to use this defense to say... Like, he didn't realize what he was doing when he was ripping off Marvin Gaye.
He's also saying, like, he didn't have that much of a part in writing the song, so I could see.
Okay, I could see that, because most singers usually don't write their songs. But is it the song or is it the beat that it's...
I'm not entirely sure. I think right now they're going for just the beat of it.
Wow, Robin Thicke really has like a not a huge downward spiral, but Paula Patton left him.
Yeah, and his album
and
flopped.
He's now a
it was pretty much
addict,
just like, wasn't the album just him trying to get his wife back?
Oh yeah, I think one of the songs was "Got to Get Her Back."
Yeah, and the whole album was named after her.
It was Paula, right?
Yeah, Paula.
Poor guy.
I think it sold like 5 records in Australia. No, I'm not making that up. It was like only 5 were sold in Australia, because I'm sure they like pirated the rest, because nobody wants to admit they're a Robin Thicke fan. And
I wonder if he was high and drunk during the VMA performance then with Miley Cyrus.
Like that
Was last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was last year.
But could you imagine like the person running into him, guys, we only sold 5 in Australia. Oh, 5 million? No, 5. Oh, you mean 5,000?
I think I would cry. I might cry.
I'd just laugh, because What else could you?
That's horrible because he has such a huge hit with Blurred Lines. Like that was all you heard last summer. It's like Blurred. Actually, no, I'm gonna play it right now. Why not?
Please don't.
I'm gonna play it. It has to be played in honor of his
can we get away with playing non-sober days?
That's so messed up. But no, I don't know why all of this is coming up. I think it's only because he actually that whole problem with Paula Patton, which I to this day not really sure why she left him, but she's so beautiful,
I'm pretty sure
so I can understand why he's mad. Did he? I don't know the whole story.
I heard it was like one of the dancers in the music video, and he cheated on his wife, so she left.
How could you cheat on her? She's so gorgeous. But she's a horrible actress. Horrible actress. If you saw Baggage Claim, don't. Well, I mean, if you haven't seen it, don't. Because it's such a waste of time. I really am looking for Robin Thicke right now. I'm letting you know that. Da, 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 as Brian is typing on the radio.
I'm just getting this password wrong.
Yeah. I could see you getting it wrong. Anyway, but I do feel really bad for Robin Thicke. And weren't they trying to say that Miley Cyrus was trying to get with him too? Even though you're from across the way?
I did not
Miley
know
Cyrus
that.
has become really, really interesting too. You know, she opened up I hit it. She opened up like a gallery called,
oh jeez.
It was something hippie. You guys, we have two other people here. What is it? It was. I know it has something to do with hippies, and I was looking at it, and honestly, it looked like macaroni art I did in kindergarten. I don't mind modern art; it's interesting, but I just feel like I could put a nail in the middle of a blank piece of paper, and they'll call it art.
I'm taking an art class right now, and that's my feeling.
Oh, it's Dirty Hippie. I just got informed it's Dirty Hippie. Thank you.
Dirty Hippie.
Which I guess makes sense because that's her thing right now. But Dirty Hippie, does that really have to do with macaronis and little bees and all these crazy, insane colors?
Well, crazy, insane colors, I could see that.
But it just looks like she got really bored and was just like, why not?
Well, I feel like I'm taking this art class that I have to take for credits.
Is it art appreciation?
Yeah, and that's like half the class is he'll show us something, and I'm like, this doesn't really count as art. And he's like, how do you feel? I'm like, kind of disturbed. Because like some of the art is like this guy put gold leaf and honey around his head and would carry a dead rabbit around a room and like pretend to talk about art to it, and the only people allowed there were people like recording and taking pictures. It was freaky, to put it in a nice way.
I'm staring at Brian. I know you can't see, but my face is just like, what?
Yeah, I'm looking over now and then. Every now and then.
But I saw some of I saw some of Miley Cyrus's work, and I think she had posted a picture of her with 2 Chainz, and she had like, I'm gonna keep saying macaronied out. It was macaroni and beaded and like flowers on a female pleasurer. And 2 Chainz is just like seriously looking at it like, oh, what is this?
Oh, admiring it.
And she was so proud of it. I'm like, I mean, I could do that with my free time. I could take that Clorox thing and then just put some flowers on it, call it art. I don't know. I feel like she's just bored for the most part.
Well, I mean, maybe she went to like the Museum of Modern Art. I went there last year, and they had just this one painting that was just 3 different shades of green. That is the.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Have you two seen it? No, just the two of us. But it is so bad.
It was. I went to. When did I go to MoMA? It was on a free day. I remember it was like everyone and their mom decided to go. And on a regular day, no one would really care about the MoMA. But MoMA is really cool if you like modern art, and I think I go more for the photography because I do like photography a lot. So I think it's a good place to go. But at the same time, I think it's bad that the only spot that interested me was maybe the I think the sexual art. Because I feel like that was the most artistic. They had, well, now I can't. I know I can't say it on the radio. There was a woman completely naked, and the only thing raised from the picture was her upper body parts.
Ah, very mission consistent way of describing it.
I like to think so. Joe's smiling at me over there. He's just like, yeah, she didn't say it. But another thing I saw when I was there was, if you guys don't know Jane Mansfield.
No.
Does that sound familiar? She's like a 1950s, 1960s star. And she was hugging the Pink Panther naked. So I was like, all right, love the MoMA. But then on the other hand, what did I see? It was a green panel leaned against the wall. And I was staring at it. I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to feel because this looked like it just wasn't hung up. Like it was supposed to be on the wall and then they just forgot about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about the MoMA.
I think I could get into the MoMA one day with my art.
Oh yeah, just I've done a few art pieces that I could put
macaroni onto a piece.
I think I have some things from kindergarten I could put up there. That is so horrible. I'm like crapping on everybody right now.
Yeah. Oh.
What? I'm allowed to say that. Am I not? Oh,
I don't know.
Ooh, I guess we'll find
I
out.
get in trouble.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. No, that's my phone ringing.
So I saw this morning a volcano in the Philippines. They didn't use the word erupt because like it wasn't that much lava, but it spewed lava.
Spewed. That was a better word. Interesting.
Yeah, so it was about half a mile of lava, so they evacuated thousands of people near it.
I would hope so.
But then like no more lava came out after that, so it's kind of like, oh, volcano's teasing us.
You know what's weird? I would actually love to see a volcano erupt, but it's just horrible. I can't actually be near it.
Yeah, because then you have to be like, oh, these are people's homes being destroyed.
Yeah, I wasn't even. Ooh, I wasn't even thinking that. Wow, I'm so selfish. I was thinking I could die.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about other people's
Model
homes.
citizen.
I'm Mother Teresa, guys. No, but that is. Where was it again? It's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because, you know, volcanoes usually don't erupt on the regular like that. I have a big fear with natural disasters in general. Yeah. My biggest one is tsunamis and sinkholes, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
I have a huge thing with sinkholes because you know what's happening in Florida for a little bit.
Yeah, it was just sinkholes galore.
Yeah. Sinkhole de Maya. No, right? Is that right?
Sinkhole de Mayo?
De Mayo. I don't know why I said Maya. I think I was thinking Mayan calendar from This Is the End.
Sinkhole de Mayo.
Sinkhole de Mayo. No, but seriously, when I found out about sinkholes, I was just like, oh my god, it happened in Florida. So in Spring's like little process mine, I'm talking about myself in the third person, was like, oh my goodness, this could happen to New York. So I actually Googled the possibility of it happening in New York, and I think it's 1/8 of a chance, which is a good enough chance for me. So I need to move to the moon ASAP, Rocky, because I cannot.
But what if there's sinkholes in the moon?
That's impossible. They have craters, obviously.
Yeah, so what if...
Spring's rationale.
No, it'll be as soon as you get there, then someone will be like, oh, this just developed. You can get sinkholes on the moon.
But you know how scary that is? I could be talking to you right now, then all of a sudden we're just collapsed and we're underneath the ground going to the core of the earth. That's scary to me. And did you ever read, you remember that, it's going to bother me, Magic Tree House?
No.
You've never read the Magic Tree House? It's like a huge, big book franchise. Well, either way, the Magic Tree House is about this brother and sister. I can't remember. I know one girl's named Annie, and they go into the Magic Tree House. They read a book, and they jump into the book about anything. So this one book, they jumped into Hawaii. So now you think Hawaii is a very peaceful place, right? You know, you're relaxing. There's lays. There's surfing. There's God only knows what. So in this particular book, right, they ruined my whole idea of Hawaii because you want to guess what happened?
A volcano erupted?
Sort of, almost close. Do you two want to guess what happened? What do you think? No, it wasn't a sinkhole, because I wasn't afraid of sinkholes. Tsunami, there we go. It was a tsunami. Never going to Hawaii. Tsunami. It ruined it for me. I'm never going to Hawaii. The minute it said what it was, I was just like, what? This is an actual occurrence that happens all the time. I was like, I'm not going to Hawaii. I have very irrational fears, so tsunamis, sinkholes, is like one of them. I also have a thing with buildings that were made too quickly.
Oh, what?
I don't trust it.
Hold on.
If a building was made way too quickly, I feel like your foundation is not
too quickly though.
Well, if it's May and you're done by like December, I don't trust that.
Oh, come on. That's
nope, I don't care how efficient you are. Nope.
Even if it's like May to December, then it's been tested by like all the elements already.
I'm so sorry.
The heat,
I don't trust
all the
foundation.
Rain, all the cold.
I do not. I know it's a ridiculous
If you
fear.
said like May to July, then yeah, I'd be with you on that.
God, I would never.
But you said May to December. That's enough time.
I feel like you need a standard of maybe
what
9
kind of
months.
Building? Just
a bit like how fast? Oh, I don't know if you know that they built a new mall in Bay Plaza.
No, I did not.
Well, they did, and they built it incredibly fast. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, that don't seem right. I feel like, you know, in movies and like cartoons, they'll take like walls and just put it up, and then that's what I feel like they did. You can't see my hand movements, but I feel like that's exactly what they did. And if I walk into it and the wrong person walks into it, like there's too many people, down she goes, because I cannot. It's a huge fear. I also have a thing with ceilings. If there's no ceiling above me, I get scared. So that's why I can't be on rooftops. Spring has a lot of irrational fears.
Then how do you get by? How do you get by walking outside? Do you just hold something above your head?
I think because I'm grounded. Actually, you know, if you ever catch me walking, sometimes I'll stare at the ceiling and freak out. I'm not the ceiling, the sky. It freaks me out completely. I have an irrational fear about space. Something about me being a floating sphere in the universe and it's ever expanding, like, freaks me out. Because that means if it's expanding, it has to go back. I get into so many things that creeped me out.
Or maybe it's just growing and it doesn't have to go back.
Things have to stop eventually, Brian.
Okay, and when you're making it sound like as soon as it stops, the universe is just like, time to go back.
It's supposed to. That's the theory.
That's a theory, but...
And then what happens when it retracts? Am I going to go back in time?
No.
Am I going to see baby Brian? Going, wah.
No, it starts retracting, and you can give, like, Saturn a high five.
See, no, I know. And then I have a thing with the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? It racks my brain. I could go on for hours arguing it. I'm like, my mom tried to argue this with me.
Yeah, I argued with my brother.
Oh my God, my mom was just like, it's like the question, the chicken or the egg. She's like, obviously the chicken came first. So I was like, Ma, but who made the chicken? And she was just like, obviously the egg. And I'm like, then who made the egg? And she said, obviously the chicken. And she kept doing this for 5 minutes.
Okay, you can't say obviously the chicken, obviously the egg.
That was the argument she made. But
I'd argue only that you can't have that as an answer. Because that's not an acceptable answer.
But it's such an annoying question.
It is.
These are things I think about when I'm not doing work in class. You know that, right? Like, this certain things. And I have a thing with the sun. How are you expanding? Stop it. Stop. I'm very close to you. My planet is like, what is it? It's Mars. Oh my God. I don't know my planets. It's 3 planets away. Yeah. Thank you. Is it Venus in between? I think so.
No, I'm pretty sure we're the 3rd planet from the sun. Unless I'm wrong.
I'm trying to figure out the 2 planets before. Oh, there we go. I just found out it's Mercury and Venus. Thank you. I obviously didn't do well in science, guys. Either way, just stop it. I don't need to know that eventually I won't, like, be here on my Earth, whether I'm dead or alive. I would like to hope that in the aftermath, my body is still chilling here for the next, like, millions of years. But either way, it doesn't matter. You want to know why, Brian? Because we're ever expanding.
Because we're ever expanding. You'll find.
I just left. Go ahead, continue.
You'll find like your body, like, we can't take this body out. Why not? Because it's ever expanding.
Same thing as getting old. I didn't make that choice.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get old. I want to be 20 forever.
I didn't mind getting old because I figured, once I get old, it's going to be fun. I can do everything I want. I can just, like, walk around and say whatever I want, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Like, look at that cute old guy.
If I had to pick an age, I would be 17 forever, just because of the Beatles song.
I wouldn't, just because I went through a really awkward 17 phase.
Oh, 17 was awesome for me.
Not me. I had long hair.
Just 17.
I looked like a girl, pretty much.
I can't imagine that, Brian, with that voice.
Yeah,
there's no way anyone
threw everyone off. So, like, you'd see me with, like, hair down to my shoulder, and
awesome,
it's like, hey, you're Brian. Hey, how's it going?
That's definitely not a female.
Yeah, it was an awkward phase for me, and then I suddenly just had to...
My awkward phase was 6th grade, because everyone thought that I was, let me see, I can't say the word on the radio. I had short hair and I was chubby, and I did it exactly. I looked like I leaned a different way than I did. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can't say it on the radio, so that's fine.
Oh.
But, Brian, I got a little surprise for you if you want to go to commercial.
Yeah, sure. Go into the commercial.
Beautiful.